Welcome to NIDO Radio. We have a very, very special VVIP. We call it very, very important guest today. Thank you for joining. I will start out by introducing myself. My name is Dr. Tomi Ademokun, and I am the Vice President of Nigerians and Diaspora Organizations, South Savannah. And I have my big oga, the President on the line, Mr. Collins. Over to you to introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tomi. Please, I'm not a big oga. I'm just a public servant. I'm only here to serve my people and give back to the Nigerian community as well as the American community as much as I can.
Yes, sir.
We actually have the VVIP, as you say, the biggest of the biggest oga. We're here with us. So please, we have Mr. Kayode Adekunle. He is the president of Alliance of Nigerian Organizations in Georgia.
Yes.
And we have him here tonight live from Atlanta. We'd like him to please tell us about himself and his background. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for coming.
Over to you, sir, to introduce yourself and let them know that you're the ANOG President. Over to you.
Again, this is indeed an honor for me to be on this platform to be able to articulate ANOG's vision. Again, my name is Kayode Adekunle. Obviously, I'm born in Nigeria. I'm from that part of the country, Ubumosho, Oyo State to be specific, Ubumosho town. That's where the family house is. So obviously, I was born in Lagos, and I grew up in a military household, right? And when I was growing up, I consider myself extremely privileged because, the kind of life that we had wasn't average. And I always remember that it wasn't average because when we go out, I see what, other people's life look like. And that has stayed with me for till today. So in our household, like I said, it was a polygamous family, many children from different mothers. There were good part of it, being part of a polygamous family, but there are also good points about being part of a polygamous family. So I will highlight the good points. The part that I like being part of a polygamous family is that you learn very early on to work with others. You learn very early on to deal with people from different, from different part of the country. You learn to eat different kind of food. You learn different kind of culture. In the same household, it was almost, when I look back now, it was almost like a United Nations. So that's really what I enjoy about being part of a blended family. So at a very, very early age, we didn't really stay too much in Nigeria. We got moved to England back in the early 70s. We moved. And I was there until early 80s when I moved here. Like everybody else, when I first got here, the goal was that, okay, I'm going to be here for 5 years, 6 years max, right? Get my BA and then just go through the obligatory MBA program and then, go back home. And when I get home, there'll be this position waiting for me, right? That was the goal. That was the dream because, people, my family was well connected. So it was assumed, right, that we were just going to come here, just go through the process, just coast, basically just coast, and we go back to Nigeria and we basically, be part of the elite. But, life is not always, in a straight line, right? So we got here and things change. And we said, oh, don't worry, this will pass. Nigeria's going to be better and stuff like that. A few more years, just keep, and just keep up alive. Anyway, obviously, more than 30 years later, still here, no regrets. I wish things were different. I wish, there was a way that we could have gone back and give back to the country. That's my biggest regret, giving back to the country. So now, in my capacity, in any org that I belong to, the first thing on my mind is I need to give back, because people like me benefited from the system. Again, people like me benefited from the system. When you live 5 minutes from Redan Barracks and everything that you see, it's a different world. It's a completely different world. It is very difficult to tell an average Nigerian what that world is like unless you're part of that world. So when I look at myself now, it's like, yeah, you definitely benefited from the system, so you need to give back. So part of my mission in any group that I belong to is to first and foremost give back. It doesn't matter what the position is. I could be just a regular member, a secretary. I play different roles in different organizations. But what I believe is that no matter what group I am in, I'm going to do two things. If there are dues to be paid, I'll pay my dues on time. And secondly, I will participate. I will participate, because if you're not doing those things as part of a group, then you really have no rights to complain or judge other people. And everything flows from that. So that's my background a little bit. In terms of professional, I want to, consider myself living on the, I won't say the dark side, but I live in the shadows. My work is cybersecurity, right? And, it is something that I love with a passion, because the way I look at cyber is that the average person walks around and they have no idea what is going on around them. Zero clue. The average person thinks, well, I'm not that important. Whatever information I have is not worth anything to anybody. So they don't take stock of how they use resources. In this case, it could be phone, it could be computer, it could be anything that is tied to the digital, age. They just don't focus on that because they think they're not important enough. But the point is that you are, and you need to make sure that you are aware of what you're doing at all times. I tell people all the time, make sure that whatever you do online, you're on the straight and narrow. Because no matter how smart you think you are, there's somebody smarter than you are. I repeat that. No matter how smart you think you are,
absolutely
smarter than you are. So, and Nigerians especially, Nigerians especially, we believe that we're so smart that, nothing can touch us. And like I said, I work in this space all the time, right? And I see, intelligence comes in and we analyze artifacts. And I just like smile. It's like, wow, when are we ever going to learn that once you choose to participate?
Yes.
When I say participate, once you choose to participate, you have a credit card, you have a bank account, you have a house, you have a mortgage, you have all of these things that can leave a digital trail. And most of us have no choice. We have to participate. But once you choose to participate, or you're forced to participate, then you need to be aware that whatever you do online is tracked. And if you're doing something illegal and you think you're getting away with it, trust me, you are not. Because sometimes people like me could be watching you for weeks or months before we pounce. And sometimes we give you a chance to, do something that you're not supposed to do. So that's my, working background.
Yes, sir.
So I will stop.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You are a wealth of knowledge. I wasn't even expecting you to go to that length, but I think because of your good heart and because of what you believe in, giving back to the society.
Yes, sir.
Because we all in one way or the other are all working towards giving back to the society. You really say something that really caught my attention. That when you become a member of a society, what you think about is paying your dues, participating, and also, making sure that things are being done right. Thank you so much for that. That's a wonderful introduction. And I have to be honest with you. Let me be honest with you now, right now. Before our late, sorry, Dr. Tommy, let me just cut it because I can't forget this. Before our president, Professor Igisime, left, he said, I want us to be a member of ANOG. I want South Savannah, NIDO South Savannah, to be a member of ANOG. And we made it possible with the help of Madam Alice Osunde. She really helped us out. We became a member, and we will renew our membership and also pay our dues, and as well as the donation, which I promised you. I just came back from Mexico, but nonetheless, it's coming. I already have that discussions, and it's coming up on the September 9th. We will make sure that all these obligations comes true before we move forward. Thank you so much for your hard work. You didn't just become a president overnight. Oh, no. You must have done a lot of work.
Yes,
behind the scenes.
He served various roles, secretary, other roles.
Exactly.
In places. Yes.
Yeah, honestly, real quick, honestly, my goal was not to be president because I've always believed that in any capacity, I will always serve. I didn't have to be president to be able to contribute. My goal, my prayer, I tell folks all the time, I've been in ANOG now since 2007, 2008, and I've held different positions. My goal has always been, my prayer has always been that for somebody to tell me and say, oh, Mr. Adekunle, you've done a very good job. Just go and sit down and take over from here. That's always been my goal. But sometimes in life, you have to do what you have to do.
Yes,
and that's where I see myself.
And
Thank you.
That is great. That leads me to my next question, which is ANOG diaspora engagement. You played various roles. You said, active participation is key. A lot of people like to join organizations. They might even pay dues, but then they stay silent and they're on the sidelines. So can you tell us more about the mission of the Alliance of Nigerians organization in Georgia, which is ANOG for short, and your engagement with the diaspora community, the wider diaspora community? Over to you.
Yeah, so obviously, ANOG stands for Alliance of Nigerian Organizations in Georgia. When I was recruited, in 2007, the person that came to speak to my group, one of the things that resonated with me was that, we had this group and it consists of different parts of people from Nigeria, and it's like, oh, okay, that's really what drew me in. Because obviously my own, organization, it was not a diverse, correct? It was, I probably say maybe about 80% Yorubas. So, and all of us that I know, most of us live in our own enclave, Igbo, Akwa Ibom, like that. Yorubas of Atlanta. I mean, that's the way we are, and we very rarely go outside of our base because that's where we're comfortable. So when this person came to speak to my group in 2007, and he basically broke it down to me and said, "Listen, this is a new group, and it consists of people from different part of the country." I was sold. Now I believe that. But then I went to the first meeting, and I had to come back and report to my own organization. And obviously in the beginning, people were very skeptical. Oh, another organization, what is in it for us? Or, by nature, we're very, very pessimistic. We're just pessimists based on experience and stuff like that. But for me, I saw right away what this particular group entails. So I talked to my organization. I said, listen, we cannot complain that things are not working if we're not part of the system. If we come to our own group every month and we whine, this is not working, that is not working. But there's a group out there that can potentially, bring us together. Why not do it? So I was able to convince my organization. I was like, okay, you want to be a rep, go and just go. And that's how I got into ANOG. And once I got into ANOG, I for the first year, I just observed. I wasn't really, wanting to do anything, but I was wanting to soak everything in. Who was doing what? Who was being influenced and stuff like that. I was soaking everything in. What was happening? Who's doing what? Who's not doing what? How are they doing things? How is things being run? And the reason I was doing all of that was that I wanted to make sure that once I start getting involved, once I start really contributing, I knew where to start from. I'm not stepping on toes. I've observed enough. Now I can contribute. And that's how I started. So when my first position was basically, assistant secretary. That was my position. And it was like, okay, I'm not the secretary. That's gonna be an easy job. Unless the secretary, for whatever reason, couldn't perform, I'm in the clear, right? I'm just gonna sit down there and just chill. So I just come to the meeting, and just chill. But
yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, the president at that time said, "Oh no, well, we don't want you to chill. We want you. I'm going to give you a position. We want you to basically run the ESCO meetings." So he said, we have an ESCO. Your job, besides being assistant secretary, is also to make sure that when we have the ESCO meetings, you take the notes and also you compile the agenda and stuff like that. And that's how I start cutting my teeth in the system. And from there, I'm here.
Yes, yes. Which is, it just says the power of hard work. A lot of people see the end results.
Correct.
They don't know the pathway to getting there. So thank you for talking about that. And, I can speak firsthand, agreeing with what my president said that, Prof, may his soul rest in peace. He spoke highly about ANOG. I never even knew about ANOG until, he pointed it out, and he was saying that there's power for us to unite. As you said before, we have our own different tribal groups, and people like to stay within their comfort zone, but there's power in unity. And we can see that even throughout Africa. You say you're a military, your family has come from a military backline. Military is taking over, in a lot of countries where there's been a lot of poverty and corruption. So it's important for us in Africa to unite, not just back at home, but here in the diaspora, if we want to be able to grow. I know other diverse groups, if you see the Asians, if you see the Latinos, other groups, they come together, So us Africans, we can make a powerful impact if we come together. And I know you have your upcoming annual Nigerian Cultural Day event. We were participants last year. We had a table for NIDO South Savannah. We also sold some stuff like, Nigerian, learning Yoruba books, learning Igbo, and so forth. And then, we had a QR code for people to become a member. And we were able to interact with other people there. They have fun DJs. Even the Consulate of Nigeria came. So I know if last year was good, even this year will be better. The event is coming up on September 9th. Can you please talk about that? And what is your call to action to our listeners today on NIDO Radio and TV?
Yeah, so
absolutely.
Before I give you what we anticipate for 2023, I'll give you how it all started, right? So back in 2008, thereabout, we're like, well, we need to do something in terms of bringing people together, activity-wise. So back then we said we're going to do family picnic, and then we're going to do parade in downtown. So the first few years we call it family picnic, and everything was fine. And then a couple of years after that, somebody said, well, why not just do what New York does? New York have this fantastic, annual, parade through downtown New York. Why not do that? So we said, well, that's a very good idea, So we got involved. We said, for like the first 3 or 4 years, we did the parade, and it was successful. But what a lot of people don't realize is that for something to be successful continuously, it takes a lot of work, right? You can't do 1 year, 2 years, and then say, okay, now we're on autopilot. It takes work. When we used to do the parade, to get all the required permits to do a parade in the city of Atlanta is a lot of work. Sanitation, police officers, cleaning crew.
Absolutely.
All
yes,
of
sir.
this you have to get.
Yes,
and if you miss one of them, then your parade is not holding.
Yep.
And after a while, for some of us, it just becomes a burden. So we stop doing that. And hopefully maybe one day with enough, resources, we can do that. So we stuck to the family day. And then 5 years ago, we said, listen, we've done family day for a long time. Let's add some more, culture into what we're doing. So we changed from family day to cultural day 5 years ago. And that's what we have today, the last 5 years. And basically what cultural day really means is that it builds on the family day platform, but it expands it. Now we allow organizations to showcase their talent, what they are famous for. So if you're Otumune, for instance, you have cultural, performances, bring them, let them perform for us. If you're a co-club, you have the AYO. You say you were there last year. If you are a co-club, you guys, have AYO. Let's bring the AYO and other groups like that. Okay, that's performances. But we also need to educate our population. So we have the health, fair, stuff there. People can come get checked for, blood sugar level, glucose and all of this stuff. And hopefully, have a doctor on tap to answer, generic questions. That's one. We also have, platform for African vendors, Nigerian vendors, to showcase their services. It could be food, it could be, retail items, it could be services, any of these. Come and, show us the African dishes, Nigerian dishes. We have that there. We also allow people to come and plug, special program of theirs. Maybe it's, financial literacy or specific medical items that people want to push. Maybe it's cancer awareness. Let people come and discuss that with us. And then, most importantly, for me anyway, I'd love to see the kids participate. So every year we have the soccer, games that the kids, play. You wouldn't believe it. Some of those kids, they look forward to it because at the end of the game, they are presented with a medal. Now, for you and I, that medal is not a big deal. But for those kids, getting that medal, like last year, the CG hanging the medal around their neck, and they're holding it like that and looking at it as if it's something really special. That was
it's a big deal. Absolutely.
That is priceless. That is priceless. So getting the kids involved, all of this is really what makes the cultural day takes. And I'm hoping that this year will be better. And the next few years, we're going to try to expand that and make it even better. So the cultural day is very, very important to us, and we all need to support it. We thank you guys being your first year last year, that you were there, having just joined. We appreciate that, and we notice that, and we thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. It is one of my great pleasures to be in that let me call it venue, where we had that event. It was really, really it kind of gave me the nostalgic.
Was good. Music.
No, it's not even just the food. It kind of gave me the nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that said there's nothing that makes you feel so good when you see people that look like you and that talks like you.
Correct. Yep.
So that really brought me back home. it really brought me back home in the middle of Atlanta, in the middle of such a great country, America, where we live and dwell. I really, really did appreciate everything. You know, being a member, NIDO South Savannah being a member, the team allowing us to participate, having a canopy, even the consul general coming to our stand, playing the drums that was provided by Dr. Tommy, and and her artistic work and the rest of it. I mean, it was just, and also the members,
The
the
members
Nairobi South
and
Savannah
even new
members,
members.
Almo was, new
Yeah,
members. Almo
and
was
new
there. Dr.
members
Keji
that we
was
got.
there.
Yes.
You know, my good brother Collins AKU was there as well,
And some African Americans that actually joined us were
and some
also
African
there.
Americans that actually
Yeah.
joined us that
Yeah.
really participated. You know,
Yes.
it was great.
And we're even
It's something to be
lobbying
remarkable.
they were even lobbying too, those African Americans, for the Nigerians that were voted into Congress.
Correct.
A lot of them that ran.
Exactly.
You know. And so I love that unity, not just with the Nigerians, but also with the African Americans that also.
Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so all in all, you know, the goal of the cultural day is to bring us together from different backgrounds of Nigeria, because before that, maybe the Yorubas do their own thing, the Akwa Ibom do their own thing, the Igbos do their own thing, everybody doing their own thing. But the cultural day, this is us. Let's come together and celebrate each other.
Let's celebrate September 9th.
There you go. So we want everybody there. Yeah, we want everybody there. There's going to be
food. Absolutely.
Honestly, every year we have too much food. But we always
have too much food.
It's okay. We can take it. Food. They have takeaway plates. We go take them. We go chop them.
Everybody always have food to eat. Like last year, for the first time, we actually got an ice cream van for the kids.
Wow.
When it was hot,
van and just get ice cream. No charge.
Yes.
So please, this is an all-family event. It's all family event. Young and old. You get to meet old friends. You get to make new friends. Bring your chairs. Bring your lawn chairs and just chill. And the permit that we get allow you to enjoy whatever you need to enjoy within that playground. We have police officers there to make sure that everybody is behaving responsibly.
Yes.
To keep,
absolutely.
Safe and secure.
Every year you're there, you see them there, one or two. They'll be there on duty.
Yes. Absolutely.
Want to make sure that you enjoy yourself within reason, and that's why we want to make sure that everything is ready for everybody. This year, enjoy. Looking forward to the CG being in attendance as well, like she did last year. So we're all looking to a great event, and this year will be even better, I believe, because in years past we didn't really have structure. Everything was, we just go with the flow. Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't work. So this time around, this year, we're having a professional MC the event.
Nice.
If you do a YouTube, video of her, it's the Lola Show.
Okay.
If you do just do YouTube and do the Lola Show, you will see she has interviewed who is who in Nigeria, from Obasanjo to, you name it.
Awesome.
So she's our MC for this year to make sure that make sure that everything is flowing the right way. So again, putting so much effort into this, and we're looking for everybody coming out and having a really, really great time. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr. President. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Sorry, go ahead, Dr. Tommy.
No, I said I'm sure it's going to be a great event. We're going to post also the flyers on all of our NIDO social media and our website, so everybody can get all the information for the upcoming event on September 9th. That's going to start around noon to 6. Don't be there Niger time, or you guys be there on time. So over to you.
So real quick, I will also share the flyer, that we have, with the CG's permission. She has a flyer dedicated to her. We have a flyer dedicated to the MC to show everybody that this is going to be, a pretty good event that we're going all out this year to make it better. So every year we're trying to improve every year. So this is we're putting a lot of things in place this year so that next year to be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So please, please, please come on out and have a great time September 9 with Walker Park. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. You have really said it all. You absolutely have said it all. We definitely have to come out and support, definitely have to come out and participate. We definitely have to come out and eat.
Yes,
we
yes.
definitely have to come out and network.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because we know that together we are bigger than anything that is facing us.
Yes.
I can tell you that strongly, if we come together, if we all dine together and come together, we are bigger than anything that is facing us.
Absolutely.
We are so blessed. We are so blessed as a country. We are extremely blessed as a country. You know, I'm sorry to say this, but I have been to so many countries in my life, and I have never seen any country that is so blessed like Nigeria.
Nope.
Nigeria is blessed in everything that you can think of. Human resources, natural resources, even the one that you and I doesn't even know. We are blessed with it.
Yes.
You know, so togetherness, if we join our hands together, we will definitely get to where we're supposed to get to.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that also calls me that, please, Nigerian in Diaspora Organization, Americas, we need Mr. President to please help us advertise to Nigerians to be a member of it. This is one voice that we use to talk to Nigerian government. This is one of the voices that we use to talk to the government. You know, the DG is aware of it, the Nigerian government is aware of it. Every Nigerian technically is a member of Nigerian in Diaspora Organization because we all live in diaspora.
Yes.
We all diasporans. You know, irrespective of our other organizations that we belong to, we are simply Nigerians in Diaspora Organization.
Correct.
And we support Nigerian economy to the highest level. The amount of money we send back home is even bigger than the direct whatever investment that Nigerian government is hoping for.
Right.
You can imagine, let's say that Nigerian doctors in Atlanta chooses to build a hospital in Lagos. Tell me any hospital in the world that will be better than our hospital.
Yeah.
Nigerian engineers in America chooses to form a company to build our infrastructures. Tell me any infrastructure in the world that will be better than that. That speaks volume.
So
Go ahead, sir.
Let me respond real quick. And
yes, sir.
You know, NIDO, you mentioned NIDO encouraging, you know, individuals to participate fully in NIDO. The way I would look at it is this: it has to be a two-way street. And ANOG is in the same boat as well. It has to be a two-way street. We need NIDO to be more visible in our community. Because if the average person, when you hear NIDO the first time, they don't really, you know, see NIDO as part of the community in the sense that, oh, they're doing an event at this place, there's going to be a NIDO stand there. There's going to be somebody from NIDO to speak to the community. We don't see that. They don't see that. So I think we can help make sure to get that message out that NIDO needs to be more visible. You know,
yes, sir.
Have your meetings and all of this stuff. That's fine, but you need to come up with programs. You need to come up with programs and say, guess what? NIDO is going to be having this event or this program on this date. It's going to be dealing about this particular topic. Please come out. That's how, you know, you start, or we start collectively to say, guess what? NIDO is important. It's here for a purpose. When it was started, you know, with a good purpose. But we all need to understand that it's a two-way street. So NIDO needs to do better. And then community as well needs to be encouraged to say, yes, this is an important group to be part of. Because, like you said, we are, you know, diasporan, right? We can't deny that. and the brain drain is real. It is real. So the more of us here that gets it and now wants to go back and make things better, we're going to encourage all those people. That's what we want. So that's what NIDO need to advocate. It's a ANOG is Georgia-based, but NIDO is worldwide. We are not trying to be NIDO. NIDO is worldwide. NIDO needs to come up with programs that we can help promote. So if you tell me, okay, give me an idea of what the NIDO program is, and hopefully maybe after this call, sometime before this year is out, we can sit down together and say, okay, what program can NIDO champion, and we can help publicize, and we can help bring people to that event. That's what we need to do. And we need to start it small, and then build it up. Because yes, but we need to attack it as such, and not do things, on a whim. That's all I would say.
I fully agree with you, sir. I fully agree with you because, I've been a member of NIDO for a couple of years, and I have to be honest with you. NIDO needs to do more, but I can tell you that ANOG is doing a whole lot more than I think NIDO is doing, because ANOG is always on point in terms of bringing the people together, in terms of bringing different associations together, and as well as bringing, even NIDO. Like I said, our late president, may he so rest in peace, he said, I want us to be a part of ANOG, because he knows that they have a good agenda. They have a good agenda. They are bringing Nigerians together, and togetherness, we can do a whole lot more.
Correct.
And
go ahead.
Just speaking on that, that's one of the areas where we wanted to get more visibility is also through our NIDO radio, through our NIDO TV show, having more shows. This is the Governor Gist show. Also, is going to be streamed on my Wellness and Wahala podcast. But we want to have different variety of shows because we know that we have subject matter experts across various sectors. So as you guys are leading on the Cultural Day show, it'd be nice to have like a cultural chat show. So this is just the beginning of greater partnerships, but there's so much to learn about our diverse culture. We have so many languages, so many different tribes. We're very rich. People just say Nigeria, but Nigeria is rich with a lot of culture and traditions that people are not aware of here in the diaspora, especially me being, born and raised here, first generational Nigerian American. I have to ask a lot of questions to my mom, my grandma, about our traditions and history back at home. Remember, we're born here. If you have children here, it's not taught in our history books. The history that they teach about Africa is not the true history. So those are the type of things that we need ANOG to also help us to get more visible by having those key dialogue and shows. And this show, for example, is a good platform where we're trying to reach more visibility. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, so one of the ways that we can help, because part of my mission is to go out there and really publicize, ANOG. We have been accused that, yes, we have a good brand, and ANOG has a good brand. We do. But we have been accused of not visiting organizations enough, that we're not doing enough. And those are, good arguments. So since I've, come on board, I've visited, as of last week, 4 organizations now. The 5th one's going to be on Saturday, on Saturday. And it is scary and rewarding at the same time to go in front of these guys, to hear their concerns. Some of them really grill you, but I can take it. But I understand it's a two-way street, right? So they haven't seen us in a while in their presence. They know they're a member, but they haven't seen us. And trust me, FaceTime is key. FaceTime builds trust. We can do Zoom all day long. But if you're not standing in front of them, articulating your vision, you can only go so far. So when I go and speak to them face to face, and I say, listen, yes, we haven't done all the right things. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to pretend that we're doing all the right things. But we're here now. We can fix it. But it takes collaboration. You can't have ANOG here saying, oh yeah, we're part of ANOG. We're part of ANOG, you're going to do all the stuff. And you're not contributing. And part of how they contribute is by each organization is allowed 2 reps. Those 2 reps are very, very important. I guarantee you, if you give 2 reps to an organization and those 2 reps perform and they get engaged, the benefit will come back to your base organization. I know that for a fact. I know that. So part of our mission is to go out to these organizations and speak to them face to face about our program and agenda and hear back from them what they think we are missing and try to find a way to come to an understanding and make this happen. So yeah, if NIDO has, flyer or something like that, we can do that. Even better. Maybe when I'm going to one of these organizations, one NIDO member come with me and speak to the group. Maybe I'm going to Otumune, maybe I'm going to Igbo Union. I don't know where, which group. Maybe one of you come with me and say, guess what? By my side is NIDO. Now, I guarantee they'll be shocked. They'll be shocked. But then, just imagine them seeing that, wow, they're actually making an attempt to engage. That's his volume. And that's how you begin to be, all of us begin to be more relevant together. So that's what I would say, that we need to sit down and put some things in place, flyers, programs. And again, yes, visiting some of these organizations and talking to them face to face. That's what we need to do. There's no magic bullet. But these are the things that we have to do.
Yes, so thank you, sir. As you said, it's power and unity. So let us know when you have your other future visitations.
Yep.
We are willing to go, alongside you. Over to you, Mr. President. Collins, sir. Oh, I think he's on mute. You have to unmute.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mr. President, thank you very much for your guideline and your advice as regards to how we can, come together as a society and make things better. We really, really do appreciate that, and we will continue to work with you, work with ANOG, and make sure that we're all at the same page.
Thank you.
ANOG is a very great organization. I have to really personally thank you for your time, and thank you for all that you have put into ANOG, as well as my dear sister Alice, the former president, that also, played a huge role in admitting us into ANOG and telling us the benefits of, what we can do in ANOG. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for your communication. Thank you so much for your time, your guidance, and everything. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to the cultural day, because a cultural day is something that puts us on the map. It's something that puts us on the map of the state of Georgia. Nigerians should be celebrated in this country. And because I know and I believe that we have contributed individually in so many areas of professionalism in this country. You can barely talk to a medical doctor in a hospital and he doesn't know 1 or 2 Nigerians that he didn't go to school with. The same thing in the military that you can talk to. I have friends who are commanders in the US military, and they're highly regarded and they're highly decorated. But you don't hear their voice because they believe in what they're doing. They believe in giving back to the society. Thank you so much for all that you do. And, I can't thank you enough. And I strongly believe that this partnership and strong, stronger communication that we have will definitely yield something that most organizations will have to emulate.
Right.
We're still looking forward to invite you and your wife to Savannah so that you can meet NIDO South Savannah and some of the members, as well as the executives. You know, I see OU visit, and I surely believe that one day we'll definitely have to make it happen. You know, it's kind of challenging to get everybody together because of all our individual responsibility, but nonetheless, we will definitely make it happen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'd like to make a few closing remarks real quick, if you permit me.
Yes, sir.
With all pleasure, Mr. President. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so, you know, you mentioned Prof. Igeseme. Yeah, I know Prof. extremely well. So Prof, for history lesson, Prof was the secretary for the ANOG Board of Advisors. And it is a job that he took seriously, keeping copious notes.
Wow.
I consider myself ANOG historian because, you know, I happens to have most of the documents, videos, pictures. When I think of Prof, I think of that smile, that bigger than life smile that can just melt anything. Prof. Igeseme was one of those people that when he won, I mean, we were so excited when he won the, you know, the Image Award, ANOG Image Award, because we knew that he was going to be an evangelist for ANOG, an evangelist. So right now we're looking for people to fill the board of advisors. 3 areas. We're looking for evangelists, we're looking for, you know, connectors, and we're looking for donors. Prof was 2 of those. Prof was a donor, but more importantly, Prof was an evangelist. He could go anywhere and talk good about ANOG because he saw what ANOG was all about. He was always speaking well of us. So yes, it's one of those guys that we can never, ever, ever forget. Yes, I know that Niger Savannah today is part of ANOG because of the belief that Prof, you know, believe in ANOG. He told me he was going to make it happen. And we're thankful that it did happen. So yes, again, you know, I will send you guys videos of when he actually won the award, coming in and stuff like that. I'll send you pictures. We have all of these in our archives. So yes, Prof is one of a kind, one of a kind. Secondly, Madam VP, thank you for having me. You know, thank you for having this forum for ANOG. It is very, very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what it's all about. You know, we don't take it lightly. It is not a given. It is not promise. And everything that you guys are doing, we appreciate. We're glad that you guys are part of, you know, ANOG. And last but not least, President Ikegboonu, I thank you. I salute you. I know last year during the Cultural Day, we just passed briefly because, you know, during the Cultural Day, a lot of things is happening, you know. I mean, people are, you know, there's a lot of things that people are just trying to do. So, but I am glad you are the head of NIDO South Savannah, and we collectively will do whatever we need to do to highlight the cause that you believe in. I know some of the causes, but we need to articulate it. We need to articulate it to our other communities here, you know, in Georgia. That is what NIDO is about. We need to hear it from you. I can say it, but it's not going to carry the same weight. It's not going to carry the same weight. So I thank you for making this happen. We appreciate your membership within ANOG. We don't take it for, you know, for granted. And again, I believe the best is yet to come for ANOG, for NIDO. The best is yet to come. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am so humbled. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Dr. Tommy. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say thank you. You see, everybody, as I said, as we started off, he's our VVIP, very, very important guest. And this is just one of many engagements that we're going to have with him and also with ANOG. So stay tuned, you guys, for more to come. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tommy, and I can't thank you enough for what you do for the chapter and as well as what you do for NIDO, Nigerians in Diaspora, and of course our VVIP, Mr. Dekunle, for what he does for Alliance of Nigerian Organizations in Georgia. It's a whole lot more that you can think of. It's not just a walk in the park. Gathering different Nigerian organizations in one umbrella to do something productive and something that creates a huge awareness that the government officials and everybody will have to come and participate, as well as Nigerians. It's a whole lot more. It takes a lot of energy, resources, and endless work. So thank you, Mr. Dekunle, so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to more, communication as well as engagement with ANOG as well. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time, and thank you all. Have a great day. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
God bless you, and God bless the Nigerian diaspora. Bye-bye.
Amen.